This is a James Poeartistry consultant moment.
A job proposition. Hello, perceptive readers. This is a James Poeartistry consultant moment, and it pertains to actually writing. Now, I know I said a job proposition, but let me share with you the background of this important podcast. See, it's interesting because, I've been doing my James Poeartistry human writing or hope of the website, started last year, and how I really emphasize it is striving for the perfect paper. Really, it's striving for the perfect natural paper. You see, writing with human, no AI, and involved. And, and I've talked quite a bit about it. Now, with that being said, without me even doing, searches or what have you, I've had different ads come up, different trial versions or what have you that's been mentioned. And it seemed like they started being mentioned more, maybe because I did talk about it in my writings or what have you. And some of these programs that persons have created, the software, if you will, you can tell they are state of the art type stuff. AI writing, et cetera, et cetera. And they advertise it in such a way. It's like, this will really make your productions or your work or I didn't see one say anything about school papers yet, but see, I know that's probably what's being used a lot, the most. And with that being said, see, that's why I continue to encourage you to practice and develop your natural writing all the same. And since, I only speak English, then that's what I'm really always striving to develop, even in this age that I'm in, that I want to continue to try to be the best writer that I can be. And I know some people will argue and say, well, AI will help you to do that as well. I realize that. So here's my point. Since my niche, if you will, is still very strongly rooted in, if I'm going to write something, it's going to come from my heart, mind, and research. You see what I'm saying? That I didn't use any of those programs, and I won't use any of those programs. See, this is still my niche, so to speak, that you write letters, you write from your heart, you write from your own mind. But here's my proposition. See, this is what I'm talking about. I know some persons have enjoyed my podcasts and my writings and stuff over the years to such a degree, because I told you they're all original. And, if I quote references, I quote references. But those fictional stories, they are all mine. You see, The Sage, all those books are mine. I wrote those myself. So the proposition is this. If you really wanted me to use and develop your AI writing programs, that much more just by what I would normally want to do anyway. Because see, what it tries to do is it brings in all these suggestions at times, all written out perfectly. And then it just say, well, you can add your own flair to it. Where I think you realize by now that even if I was to use that type of program, the type of papers that I would still put out would be unique and nothing like anybody else, because we're all different humans. And I know you all realize that by now. So my proposition is, look at it as a job offer. You want me to have a separate, even type of part on my website, blog, whatever you want to call it, where I actually use your tool in that way to write, still different letters in that way. I'm telling you right now, it will not go under my James Poeartistry human writing section. No. It will be clearly shown, in the attribution, if you will, a paragraph after or before or both, really letting people know this was developed through this type of program. See, and I'm telling you that would be a must. And that's where I would put it, because all the same, I will continue to develop what I have for my own website, striving for the perfect paper, you see, in human natural writing. But the proposition is still there. I got my Cash App. If this is what you wanted me to use for your own specific purposes, experimental, otherwise, or what have you, well, you can pay me for it. And you know you'll get your money's worth. And depending on how many types of papers you would want me to put out, you see, for that week or month, then the price is determined by that. But for the most part, I already have in my mind, I'm not going to tell you anymore. But the whole point is, I already have an idea how I could make it better. And the point is, you look at my resume, you know I can make it better. So I tell people, one, you get what you paid for, and two, love does not look for loopholes to keep trying to get over on somebody. Some of the same fine work that I put out, a lot of people don't pay me for it, but they'll pay others for it because of just, what the situation is. So the point is, if you want that good stuff, you pay me through my Cash App. You already know what my fee is, or you can just send me an email. You see what I'm saying? Something of that nature, a business professional email, and just say, would you do this for this certain amount of money? You see, and you already know where I'm going with it. All right. So that's my proposition, job offer proposition or service for you. Have a wonderful day.